Hey guys, it's Holly, and I'm here with a video for my top 5 games in 2008. This is kind of a response video to Steph's 2 DAF. I have been wanting to do this. I'm also going to do a top 5 games for all systems, because I don't think I bought really 5 or more games for most of my systems this year, because I was collecting a lot of retro stuff. But I did buy a large amount of games for the Nintendo DS, so I'm able to do this video for it. So we'll go ahead and get started here. Now, my number 5 pick is a new game that just came out, and that's Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks. Now, I really enjoyed Phantom Hourglass, but I found it was really easy, and that going back to the temple was pretty tedious. I was hoping that those two mechanics were improved upon in this game. Now, I do have to say that returning to the Tower of Spirits is a lot better than the Ocean King's Temple, because you can skip areas that you've already completed. However, the level of difficulty in this game is about the same. It's very easy. Now, I do have to say I was a little uncertain about this game at first. In fact, I didn't start playing it until this weekend because of the train mechanic, but the train mechanic works really well and actually gives you more to do than sailing. When you're sailing in the ship with Link and Lineback, you really had not too much to do. You may encounter an enemy or something, but when you're on the train tracks here, there's more strategy involved, so I really enjoyed that part of the game. If they could increase the easiness, it would definitely get a higher spot on my list. But it is actually a really great game, and I'm really enjoying it. And if you like Zelda, you're going to like the game. I haven't tried the multiplayer yet, but it looks pretty good too. So there you go, Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks. That's my number 5 choice. Number 4 is the legendary Starfy. Now, this game, a lot of people really enjoyed, myself as one of them. One of the reasons I think this game got so much popularity for me is in 2009, there were not a lot of platforming games that were released. And by the summer, when this game came out, and having the Nintendo DSi, I popped it in, and I was just really in the mood to play a solid platformer. And this game is a solid platformer. Again, it's lower on the list because of difficulty. It's actually really easy. It's a cakewalk. But I played a lot of RPGs this year. A lot of RPGs, so finding a cute platformer game that was actually really good and well built was really rewarding, and it was actually a lot of fun, and the colors and environments in this game are beautiful. This isn't the hardest platforming game you'll buy, and it's probably not one you're going to go back to hundreds of times, but I've gone back to it twice now. It's a quick playthrough. It reminds me of Kirby, and I really, really enjoy this game, and I hope to see more Starfy games in the future. So that is my number 4. Number 3 is Rhythm Heaven. This game is a lot of fun, and it came out with a Nintendo DSi, and I really, really enjoyed it. The difficulty in this game is much harder, and it's a really simple concept. It's not like Guitar Hero on Tour where you have to plug in a peripheral. The music in this is incredibly, incredibly catchy. The only thing I wish this game had that it was missing is Wi-Fi multiplayer for some of the rhythm games, where you could compete online or post scores or something. I think online leaderboard to try and get scores or numbered scores in all of the events. You could have, I don't know how they would do it, an online score, but trying to get perfects in this game is one of the things that has really, really, really brought me back to it. And yeah, so Rhythm Heaven. And that's my number 3 choice. Now, my number 1 and my number 2 choice are really close, but I did have to give the nod to one of the other games. And my number 2 choice is Dragon Quest V. Now, some people have said that they prefer Dragon Quest IV, but I definitely prefer Dragon Quest V to Dragon Quest IV. This is just a really epic game. It's really, really well done. I couldn't believe the color change in graphics. There's actually a better color scheme in this game than Dragon Quest IV. The graphics in it are beautiful, and I really like the idea of your character growing up throughout his quest. I mean, it just brings a whole nother level. You get married, you go through life. It just makes a lot of sense. It really takes the grinding to another level. You're not as, oh, I'm just grinding to grow. You're going through different stages of your life. I really, really, really enjoyed that mechanic in this game. This is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful game, and I recommend it to any RPG gamer. It's not overly difficult, but it's not overly easy either, and it's hours of gameplay. And there's things in this game that you can change that will affect the outcome, like which bride you pick, choices you make, other choices you make in the game. So you really should check it out. Dragon Quest V, that's my number 2 pick for 2009. Oops. And then my number 1 pick is a game that I just fell in love with. And I do have to say, later in the year, it's harder to remember what you played early on. So I really went back and took a look at all my games. And I tried to go through my top 5, and I didn't make any changes. But this is a recent addition to my collection, and I have completed this game. And this game is just amazing, and that is Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story. I've always loved this series and the Paper Mario series. It's just so charming, and the writing in this is amazing. I much prefer storylines to gameplay, but this has both great gameplay and an amazingly funny story. It takes the idea of Mario and Luigi going inside Bowser to a whole nother level and trying to find your way out. I really like this game. I think everyone who owns a DS should play it. It's pretty close to my game of the year for all games. In fact, I'm still a little undecided on that because I really enjoyed it this much. This is the 3rd installment of the Super Saga, the Mario and Luigi quest. There was Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga for the Game Boy Advance, Mario and Luigi Partners in Time, and then Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story. Now, I have to say, until this came out, Superstar Saga was my favorite. And one of the reasons were some of the villains, some of the gameplay, and they changed a lot of that with Partners in Time, which is a really good game, but wouldn't have made my top 5. This game, however, improved upon the series in every single way. This game is nearly perfect. It's an awesome RPG with an amazing story, and it just makes you laugh, and you're going to sit there and be like, oh my god, that's hilarious. I love that about this. And anyone can play this. It's not a difficult RPG, but it's hard enough that it'll keep even a hardcore gamer going. And there isn't too much stuff in it. The gameplay length is just right. So everyone should go out and pick up Bowser's Inside Story. It is an amazing game. And yeah, so that's my number 1 for 2009. Alright guys, well thanks for watching, and there were some great games in 2009, and I am going to do a total overall list of games that I picked up for all systems as a top 5 as well.